It makes me so sick. Everything that we are fighting for, everything that feminists have achieved in the past like 50, 60 years is just getting like destroyed by misogynistic women. Okay, serious thing for a second that I wanted to talk about. In Germany, we have had recently implemented the self-ID law, which replaced the transsexual law from the 80s, which is something that I had to go through in order to change my legal name and my gender marker. How it worked back then was you go to court, you fill in like a form, you send it to court. They're going to give you two independent psychologists who you have to go to, and you have to like reveal a bunch of stuff in order to prove that you're actually trans. And it costs a lot of money. It's a big process. I paid like 2,000 euros for it, and it was like really stressful for me because I had to reveal everything. I had to go through my whole entire history. That is the reason why I can talk a lot about like these childhood memories and so on, because everything resurfaced when I had to literally talk about these things in order to prove that I'm trans. And finally, last year, after promising it for ages, they implemented the self-determination law where you can change your legal name your legal name and your gender marker by just going to your city town hall, filling in the code, and then just like paying for the processing fee. Something that has been implemented in like Belgium and so on, where you just like pay, I don't know, 50 euros and then you get it done. Easy. Now, the conservatives and the right-wingers, which are at this point literally identical, they want to get rid of it already after it has been implemented, because like, what if now all these men are now pretending to be women and they are changing their gender marker to go into, you know, like fear-mongering type of shit. We know for a fact that this doesn't happen. You know, we see it in Argentina, where this has been implemented for a decade. And how many instances of someone like misusing that were there? I think one or two. Also, men do not have to change their legal name and gender marker and go on HRT and so on in order to go into the women's restroom and harass people, because if they are not trans, they're actually being protected by conservatives and so on. Oh, what did the woman do to warrant a man reaching into the women's restroom? Like, what if the woman was trans? The man had to go in there and like harass women and check their genitalia. Men have to go in there. Good men have to go into the women's restroom in order to protect women from men who are pretending to be women and going into the women's restroom and invading these spaces like that. It's crazy. Okay. Anyway, the conservatives have this really good idea to use the self-ID law, and anyone who changes their gender marker and so on, just put them on a list. Put everyone who changes their gender marker and legal name on a list. Make it a trans list. Make trans people identifiable. That is what they did to Jewish people. That is what they wanted to do to trans people back then in like 1920s and something, that like Magnus Hirschfeld was actually for. He actually was for like a trans passport, making us identifiable, making it easy to find the dead name, something that is used to get us harassed. They are harassing us using our dead name. They are revealing all these things, doxing us, and this would make it so much easier. Why is it allowed to reveal someone's dead name when there's like so much drama attached to it as well, right? Getting misgendered and so on, having people continuously use a name that like you have awful experiences with, something that is like linked to so much drama, something that you like reject. You're going through so much and they make it easy to like ostracize us from society. It is the same situation that like J.K. Rowling is doing, punishing trans people for like working a job. Like this here, Pink News posted an article on a trans woman, a trans employee who apparently isn't even trans. Like, it's not confirmed that they're trans. Marks and Spencer, which is like a clothing store, and like a TERF was like, I guess, traumatized because her daughter had the experience of a trans employee offering help to find a bra, and say, oh, you. And people like J.K. Rowling are just like pushing this and you know, harassing us because they want to, like, it's not about single sex space. It's literally just like, I went to McDonald's and there was a trans woman taking my orders. I'm traumatized now. Oh my god, please J.K. Rowling, boost this and help me out. Help me get justice, because I needed to see a biological male cosplaying as a woman at Starbucks. Like, this is the shit that is like going on. The employee who she claimed was trans had approached her 14-year-old daughter asking if she needed help. Oh my god, please, J.K. Rowling, please. Oh god, this is obviously the case. He is at least 6 feet tall. No, tall woman approached a 14-year-old girl and asked if she needed help. The daughter was visibly upset and felt freaked out after they left the shop. She went on to say, like, yeah, probably because, like, you traumatized your daughter because a totally normal situation occurred and you just like made a scene. Crazy situation. That is what they are leading up to. And by putting us on lists and making us easily identifiable, we are going to get we get targeted harassment already, but it's just going to make it so much worse. So please, if you do live in Germany, please sign this. It makes me so sick. Everything that we are fighting for, everything that feminists have achieved in the past like 50, 60 years is just getting like destroyed by misogynistic women. Billionaires who are pushing so much propaganda, who are using their huge platforms and media like influence in order to use us as a scapegoat and absolutely destroy women's rights, equality, reducing womanhood to literally just gametes. What these people would do if they knew how many actual men are, for example, gynecologists, they don't care. They don't actually care about like actual harassment that is going on. If you're like a man and you're a gynecologist and you're like exposed for being like a predator and like harassing women and so on, you have these people, these freaks like defend them, being like, oh, think about his future. Why are these women allowed to destroy this young man's bright future? Of course, as long as it's cishet white male, obviously, right? It's just crazy. They don't actually care. Please sign this if you can. I appreciate it. I'm going to turn this into a video and post it like ASAP. It's time for me to also like acknowledge the shit that is going on in Germany. Because what they are doing, what the current government is doing, is basically paving the way for like a new third Reich. Almost said like Third Reich, like an American trying to pronounce an English, a German word. Because I'm in English mode right now. I can't do German words right now. Don't let the American Border Patrol or whatever see your YouTube. Honestly, I'm curious if I would actually get denied entry. It would be so funny to find out though. As always, liberals and social democrats paved the way for the fascists. Yeah, it's like conservatives right now. Conservatives who have like ties to like the far-right extremist party as well. They're just paving the way and like nobody actually cares. As American, don't come to America right now. There's legit chance you'd get shipped to El Salvador prison with nothing you can do about it. They would probably like shove me into like a ICE prison holding cell for like a while and just like abuse me there and torture me there. Everybody hates